What's going on, you guys? My name is Zach Hartley and welcome back to another weekly watch list video. In this series, I try to share with you the stocks that are at the top of my watch list going into Monday morning. So if you get any value from that, remember to click that like and subscribe button, and let's jump right in. Now, my trade this week, this was a really fun little trade. I just posted a video about this, and this was an initial token offering. So instead of an IPO, it's called an initial coin offering or an initial token offering. And this is how these Safe Moon and Safe Nebula and Shiba Inu coins, this is how they get started. And so I participated in one. I made a video about it. It is on my YouTube channel for this token called the Tease token. Really cool platform, really interesting guys behind it. I like what they're doing. I do have a long-term position in it, but I did get in on the pre-sale and I turned $1,585 into over $7,000. We sold out pretty close to the highs right here and I bought back in lower. If you want to see that video, definitely check it out on my channel, but let's jump into the market this week. So when we look at the NASDAQ, it was a very nice week. We actually had a beautiful recovery this week. Wednesday and Thursday didn't look so good, but Friday was a massive green day for the NASDAQ, and it looks like we're kind of retesting the resistance that we saw back in February, back before we saw that big dip and everybody thought the market was crashing. We're basically at those exact same levels. The market came back and it tested new highs right here at kind of the end of April. We did extremely well there, and now we have another dip. We're back to the pre-April highs and we are pushing higher. So things actually look pretty good on the NASDAQ. We also have three increasingly higher lows. So you can see right here in March, we tested this low. We had another low right here at the end of March and another low in the middle of May. And all three of those were higher up. So that is a bullish sign. We do have a fair bit of confidence in the market right now. But when you look at the S&P 500, it gives you even more confidence because over basically the last year, the S&P 500 has been pretty much steadily climbing. We did meet a little bit of resistance right around this 4230 range right here in May. We had a little bit of a dip with the NASDAQ as well, and now we are retesting that exact same level. It looks like if we have a good week this week, we could set all-time highs for the S&P 500, and it looks like pretty much the exact same thing for the Dow Jones. I've stretched this out over a little bit longer time period, so as you can see, this goes back all the way to that kind of COVID dip right here, and since then, the Dow Jones has been pretty steady, and it looks like we are about to test the highs that were set in May, so also a good sign. Overall, the indices look very strong. Now, that is because the big companies right now are doing very well, but some of the growth companies are not doing so well. We're going to touch on that in just 1 minute. Let's take a quick look at cryptocurrency. So this is the Bitcoin price right now. As you can see, we have fallen from graces of $60,000. We are now in the 30 to 35 kind of thousand range. We have tested the 32 and even $30,000 levels before in the last few weeks here, and we're trading pretty much sideways within that range right now. There is some concerns about the energy usage that Bitcoin is taking up right now, but I do think we have some pretty significant support at least at 30,000 and some support at 35,000. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks because the price of Bitcoin is tied to a lot of different company stocks. So next one we want to talk about is DogeCoin. This made all of the headlines, and since then it has also fallen from grace down about 50% from the highs and pretty much trading sideways right now. So not a lot to talk about there. Now COVID, this is really nice to see. The US numbers are getting pretty close to zero. They're continuing to decline week after week, and we are seeing the same thing in India. The Indian numbers are going down pretty dramatically and pretty drastically, probably because of all the help that is poured in. So that is also a very good sign to see. I really do think we are hopefully on the second half of the COVID pandemic. I think we're going to be doing pretty well over the next few months, and so I'm fairly optimistic about the market, especially after looking at the strength of those indices. Now, not a whole lot of big companies to report this week. We do have GameStop reporting on Wednesday after the close, so that one should be fairly exciting. We also have Restoration Hardware on the same day, and one company I started to follow recently is Chewy here. This is a pet supply company with a pretty good logistics program that could compete with Amazon in regards to where they operate. So I really like the company. But for right now, I want to talk about a couple of trades that I have covered on these watch lists. So on May 15th, I told you about INTU. This is the accounting and tax software, super popular, amazing business model, software as a service. And I said, hey, they're testing this 423 level again for the fourth time. They got rejected 3 times, but they set a higher low right here, and it's got a lot of momentum. I think it could break through. And this is what the chart looks like today. today. We have broken through that 420 level and we are now at 463. This was a very, very clear breakout trade, a great opportunity and a fantastic company. And I think this is kind of the bread and butter of trading. This is what I look for, and this is what you should be looking for as well. Now, AirBnB, I pointed this out to you last week. This was in my watch list last week, and I did take a position in it this week. You can see that little green arrow there. We're up maybe 4 or 5%, so nothing big right now, but I bought into AirBnB because I do think that the travel industry is going to come back. I think AirBnB as a company has only gotten better. I think COVID leaned out all of the fat in the company, and I think the platform continues to improve over time. I like the company. I like what they're doing. I like it long term. I know it's expensive. I know it's extremely expensive right now. However, I do think it is very well positioned to grow over the next few years, and I think it can definitely provide some excellent returns for us as investors. So that's what I'm looking for here. I do have a stop loss set just below 120 though. Now, the next company I want to point out is ChargePoint. This is another company that I've covered on previous watch lists, and as you can see, we have tested this $20 level 4 different times. I've pointed it out with these arrows right here, and now we are breaking through our resistance line that was set and basically tested several times again. You can see it right here. We are now breaking through that. The price has crossed above our moving averages. We've got increasing volume over the last 5 days. RSI is moving up and off of that oversold zone, and the MACD is starting to look good. I like everything about ChargePoint right now, and in this video the EV industry is going to be pretty hot because I do think there's a lot of opportunities. Next one is Blink Charging. This is basically a competitor to ChargePoint, and what I like about Blink Charging is that it's bouncing off of support at roughly the exact same time, and it is now approaching previous resistance. You can see it was rejected at $40 once right here, twice right here, a third time right here at kind of the end of April, and now we are approaching $40. So what I am looking for is for Blink Charging to break through $40 or to come back down to that 25-30 level. I would buy in low or I would buy in on the breakout. I like Blink Charging, and the more companies that announce and come out with electric vehicles, the more in demand these services are going to be. So I like everything about ChargePoint and Blink Charging long term, and I do like that they're coming down like 40-50% from the highs. That means that they're probably coming back down to value, and long term I do think there's some growth there. Now the next company I want to talk about is NIO. I got into this company with options, and I probably got in a little bit too early, but it's pretty much worked out exactly as we expected. It kind of got rejected at 40. It came back down. It established new support at $30, and now it is moving back up, and it is testing this previous level of resistance right here, right around $43. So what I'm looking for is if NIO can break through $43, that will be a breakthrough of previous resistance. We've crossed through our moving averages. We've got support at $35 here, and I do think there's an opportunity for NIO in the long term. I also like, a lot of people hate this, that the Chinese government is involved with the company. I actually like it because I think the Chinese government will not let NIO fail now that they're involved. And because NIO operates and sells cars, will be selling cars to a global audience, I think it's part of the Chinese government's reputation, and because of that, I think they're going to do extremely well. Whether or not the numbers are accurate right now, I think in the long term, the company is very well positioned. And the next company I want to point out to you is Electronic Arts. This is the video game company, and I absolutely love what they do. I'm in and out of it a couple of times a year. I like the company. I like what they're doing. And as you can see, I just want to point out, we have got some major resistance at $150 here. We also have a very clear level of a trend line right here. We've got 3 consecutively higher lows right now, and we are basically wedging into this $150 zone, and what I am looking for is a breakout above 150. I think there's a great opportunity for Electronic Arts, and I really like the business model. Now, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about how to analyze the charts, look at these companies, and get started in the stock market, then you should definitely consider signing up for my Stock Market Fundamentals course. It is completely free, and there's over 9 hours of content that will walk you through step by step everything you need to know. There's over 5,300 students that have already gone through the course. There's over 260 reviews, and 83% of the reviews say that this course exceeded their expectations. So I would love to share it with you, and it's completely free when you use the link in the description to this video. You get a 2-week free trial to the entire Skillshare platform. Now, next company I want to point out is HelloPal. This is a social media and kind of cryptocurrency company that I'm keeping a very close eye on because I like the platform and I like the grand vision of what these guys are trying to do. do. However, I do think it's very early days for this company. And so if they can execute on it and really scale up to what they're trying to achieve, I think there's a great opportunity here. But it is early days. But the reason I like this stock and the reason I want to point it out to you is because for whatever reason, there is a lot of people buying at $1.20. This price just does not fall below $1.20. We have a major level of support, and I can tell you that somebody is stepping in at $1.20 and picking it up, and I think there's a good reason for that. So I am watching Hello Pal very closely, because if it falls below 120, I think that's a red flag. But as soon as we can see some solid movement up and a couple of catalysts, and especially positive news in the cryptocurrency world, I think this stock is going to do extremely well, especially if they can execute. That's going to be kind of the X factor, is cryptocurrency and execution. But it's a very exciting social media business with a lot of opportunity to scale up. Now, next company I want to point out is Lemonade. This is an insurance company that basically lets you insure pretty much anything you want on any type of policy. They give you a quote, you say yes or no. It's mostly done online, and it's a beautiful business model. And the reason I like this company is because the price has come down drastically from $188. It tested the low of $58. Now, this is a very quickly growing insurance company. This is a growth tech company, I should say that, and it is selling at a discount, in my opinion, for the growth. And so I like the company. I like what they're doing. I think it's got support at 58. It's got very clear resistance right around $100. And so I'm looking for the price to break through $100. I'm going to call that a buying opportunity, and that's when I will be getting in. I would like to see a little bit more volume in the last few days, and especially when we break through 100. But as of right now, I am watching this one closely for an opportunity. Now, another company, this one's Canadian. This is a company that I like, that I want to get into, but the price continues to fall, so I have not bought in yet. This is a company called Pure Extracts. And what they do is they extract the very important molecules and ingredients in both cannabis as well as magic and psilocybin mushrooms. And so they're kind of that intermediary company that other companies will use to develop products. But what I like about them is they're also developing their own product line. So they're completely vertically integrated. And they also just landed a sale with the province of British Columbia for their own products that are made in-house. So I do think there's a great opportunity here. I like the company. I like what they're doing, but the stock continues to fall. So I'm going to let it fall. I am going to wait. I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to buy in at a lower price. Now, the last company I want to point out to you is a pharmaceutical company. I do like this company. They're in a very kind of unique and niche space, but I do like the product. I like what they do. And I think there's a big opportunity for improvement in the space. And I think there's product solves that problem. So I really like what they're doing. And the reason I'm pointing them out to you is because I think there's some significant resistance right at $2.40. You can see we tested it here in February, March. We tested it again in May, and we've been testing it for the last kind of 2 weeks. If we can break through $2.40 with maybe a little bit of a catalyst and some additional volume, I think that's going to be the opportunity to buy in. I think there's a great opportunity here, and I am watching this one very closely. Now, if you want to see my actual buy and sell signals when I get in, when I get out, and if you want to be a part of the community of traders and researchers and investors that share their due diligence, then you should definitely consider joining my Discord chat. It's $5 per month. I'd love to have you there, and it's a community of traders that are there to share their research, share their due diligence. It's for long-term investors too, and it's designed so that you don't have to do all of the work sitting at home at your computer alone. Join my community. I promise it'll be worth it. It's $5 per month, and I would love to have you there. Now, my game plan for this week is to focus on the EV industry. I actually think there's a lot of opportunity in the EV industry right now, especially for some short-term trades, as long as next week goes well for the technology industry. I also think that there are a lot of growth stocks that are currently undervalued. Go find a company that's selling at a 50% discount from its highs and make sure that they're growing extremely fast and they have a fantastic business model. It's probably going to be a good investment over the long term. I'm also very interested in travel stocks and stocks that are going to do well with the reopening of the economies. I know the US is currently doing well. Canada's kind of in the middle of reopening right now, and I think most of the rest of the world is as well. So I do think there's a giant opportunity there. And lastly, I'm going to be watching the Tease token from the NFTs.app website. I think there's a big opportunity there. I think it's moving pretty quickly, and I will be making some more videos about that coming up. So if you want to stay tuned or you want to learn more about that, definitely consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Good luck trading. Good luck investing. Check out the links below. See you guys in the next video.